Well, it's time to check in with the bosses here at Reason. It's our Reason Roundup with Editor-in-Chief of Reason Magazine, Matt Welch. Hi, Matt.
Hi.
Hi. And, of course, the Editor-in-Chief of Reason.com and ReasonTV, Nick Gillespie.
Thanks. We've also got our paperback version of our book, The Declaration of Independence, How Libertarian Politics Can Fix What's Wrong with America, coming out now.
You know who needs to read that? New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg.
Yeah, sure.
What's going on with the soda ban? He's banned soda beverages, sugary drinks over 16 ounces. First of all, what's to stop someone from buying 2 of them? And second of all, what is the scientific link between sugary drinks and obesity? There has to be a direct one, right?
According to his health commissioner, up to half of all obesity-related problems are attributed to sugary sodas in New York City.
That sounds open-ended.
It's not scientific at all. I mean, it starts with, they call it an obesity epidemic, and that's not an epidemic. You can't catch it by breathing on someone or doing anything like that. So yeah, people are drinking sugar, eating bad food, and becoming fat. The question is, does the government have any role or right to say that because of that you can no longer have a 20-ounce bottle of Coke, period? They're trying to legislate, criminalize actually, people's choices. And it's not just people, it's generally those people. It's lower class people who drink those other
Why not just outlaw grape soda? I mean, that's essentially what he's doing. Okay, now this is my solution. Before you get into it, hot stuff.
Okay.
Why don't you disincentivize obesity by not offering free health care?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the problem. The health people, nanny state public health people will say, well, this is what happens to the externality of being fat is that everybody pays for it. The easiest answer to that is to change the way health care is delivered so that fat people, and it's like, being overweight does not necessarily mean you have health problems.
Are you overweight?
Yeah, I am. I might be morbidly obese by the government's standards. Yeah.
Was she a great big fat person?
But the whole point is that the externality is only there because of the way we deliver health care, and if people actually paid for themselves, primarily this wouldn't be an issue. But as Matt was saying, there's something funky going on here. So for instance, among the things that are exempted are alcoholic beverages. So you can get a 20-ounce margarita, you just can't get a 20-ounce lime Slurpee. And in the same week that Bloomberg was pushing this idea, he also celebrated National Donut Day with the world's largest box of Entenmann donuts, and there were Entenmann donuts that were the size of manhole covers, and that's okay. But God forbid that you get that 17th ounce.
And
soda.
they're going to have to increase the circumference of the manhole covers because New Yorkers are now too obese to fit down them. So, thank you very much. So, Scott Walker, the recall election in Wisconsin, it gives me the heebie-jeebies having lived through the Great Davis recall. And I saw what happened in California. It was exciting. It seemed revolutionary. We have huge pension problems in that state. Scott Walker survived. But what does it do for the rest of the country?
Well, I think it hopefully focuses them on the fact that they have the same problems. Every state, and especially, but not only blue states and blue cities, counties, they all have the problems of chronically underfunded and expensive public pension liabilities. Well, we've been just giving better and better contracts to state workers who already make much more money on average for the same work or the same category of work as people in the private sector. It's not just Scott Walker, it's not just Wisconsin, it's everywhere. It's California and New York. And so people are going to have to deal with this without being able to demonize a single politician.
Now, I know unions don't want you to demonize unions, but they essentially trade votes for richer pensions.
Think about it in the state of California, the largest 2 or 3 groups that contribute to elections are public sector union groups, basically teachers unions and state employees unions. So they get politicians elected, Democrats elected, and then they go to the negotiating table with those same people that they helped get elected and write the new pension rules, oftentimes in closed session. It's not even open to public. So a lot of the worst deals have been done completely behind closed doors, like in 1999, your apparent boyfriend, Gray Davis, was terrible about this, actually.
So he's a horrible governor.
Right, but he was recalled for a reason. I mean, he allowed the budget to be exploded partially by giving sweetheart deals to the pension or the labor groups that supported him. So,
including the prison workers too.
prison workers are, I mean, in Scott Walker, in one of the bad things that he did is that he didn't go after fire and police, because those are traditionally Republican unions as opposed to Democratic unions. Everyone has to deal with this. San Jose pays 27% of its budget just on pension contributions right now. That's completely off the rails, unsustainable.
Something like 60% of Wisconsin residents thought that firemen and cops should also pay more for their benefits.
Wisconsin.
The consensus is building that we can't have business as usual in state state finances, and it's happening. And the other thing about the California recall is Gary Coleman was on the ballot, and he was running for smaller government. He embodied smaller government. That was an opportunity we missed.
Man, thank you for that. That was a very respectful.
The right ones.
No, you didn't, but that's okay. Here is a moment of hypocrisy. The New York Times said essentially that Barack Obama was just exaggerating in his book when he talked about his drug use. But now it turns out, according to David Moranis' biography, he really was a big puff passer.
He was in the Choom Gang? Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
Choom Gang.
The
Yeah.
Choom Gang, which is much better sounding gang than I was involved with, I think, at the time.
Yours was 4-H.
The Marys.
Spur posse. No, it shows up something that is a real blot on his record, and hopefully will actually lead to him losing some support, particularly among young people. It's complete hypocrisy. Barack Obama basically is advocating and enforcing laws that, if they would have been enforced on him as a young person, he would have gone to jail, right? Would that have made him a better person? Would that have made his life turn around differently? Hell no, it's just pot.
Probably wouldn't have gotten into Harvard Law School.
That's true.
It's, this is also a place where politicians constantly bemoan the fate of, or rather, the way that the media and other people create cynicism among the body populace, or, the body politic. And it's time that people like President Obama recognize his behavior here and the hypocrisy. It really is egregious, and it turns people off. And if politicians are sinking lower than kind of, Penn State assistant football coaches in terms of admiration, it's because of stuff like this. I mean, pure and simple, it's on them.
I'll tell
it
you
is
though,
on them.
Jerry Sandusky polls better in 67% of the country than Nancy Pelosi.
I wouldn't doubt
True
that.
story. That's not a Reason Root poll,
Yeah.
but it is equally scientific. All right, there we have it. You can read Reason Magazine with its editor-in-chief, Matt Welch. You can always go to Reason.com and Reason.tv. That editor-in-chief, Nick Gillespie. A grr and a grr. Thank you both. And thank you.